Our sponsors: The Finkley Experience, HBCU First, The Jamal Bakes Morning Show, J&J Leadership Academy. Thank you for your contributions towards The Michael Finkley Show. Hello everybody, it's Michael Finkley with The Michael Finkley Show.
And I'm Nicole with Conversations with Nicole. You can join me Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on all of my streaming platforms.
Well, Nikki, don't forget about The Michael Finkley Show, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CTR Media Network.
Join us!
Hi, I'm celebrity saxophonist Richard Shaw Jr. from Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure you stay tuned for more with The Michael Finkley Show. It is absolutely phenomenal.
On the next Michael Finkley, actor, singer, producer, director Terron Brooks is with us. He reflects 25 years later on betraying Eddie Kendricks from The Temptations. And he reveals his next biggest dream. Don't miss it. Monday.
There's a new familiar face this time. Say hello to the new daytime. See it everywhere you go. Doing the greatest show. It's no other than the Michael Finkley Show. There is no other. He's like no other. I'm so glad that someone resonates with me. Come celebrate with me. Let's do it together.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now y'all, my next guest, I must say, I grew up watching this young man. We're not that much older. I mean, in part of age. But I must say that he is a songwriter. He's a singer. He's a producer. He's an actor. He portrayed, of course, the Temptations only, Eddie Kendricks himself. He's none other than Terron Brooks.
Hey, Michael.
How are you?
I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed. You know, you can say hashtag blessed and people can laugh at you, but that's what I'm gonna say. I'm
Well,
blessed.
you can laugh at me all you want to, because at the end of the day, it is what it is.
It's your perspective, you know?
Exactly. Like I said before, thank you so much for just chatting with us these few moments. I appreciate you so much. I really, really do. It's so funny. I think we were in the process of getting things squared away with the interview and everything. And every time I go to bed, I like to sleep with noise. And this episode of Hanging with Mr. Cooper was on. And I was like, this young man, Cooper told him to read the entire book. And all that kind of good. And he read the entire book, and I was like, wait, he looks familiar. And I zoomed in. I'm like, that was
Wow, nobody's seen that. So you're very, very blessed and lucky. I think I've seen it twice, but yeah, that was my first TV show ever. I think that was my first. Yeah.
I'm like, that is amazing. So,
I got my SAG card with Hanging Mr. Cooper. I got my SAG card. The truth about it is I got the job and I didn't have the money and my parents were out of town. Something happened. I needed to get the money real fast. And so a good friend of mine loaned me the $1,000 or whatever to go to be on TV. And that's how it started. So yeah, wow. I was in Mark Curry's classroom.
I'm like, this is so awesome. I'm like, all things working together for the good. All things. I take these as signs. All things work together for the good. I remember you saying one time that knowing my purpose to inspire keeps me going. So, what is your purpose?
Ooh, I mean, how do you nutshell that? I think one of my purposes, I believe, is to inspire other people to believe in themselves enough to live out theirs. Mm-hmm. I really feel a impression, a sense of purpose to help other people believe in themselves in order for them to do what they need to do, if that makes sense. And that inspires me so much if it's through my story or listening to someone else's story saying, you can like really make it possible And so everything I do is wrapped up in inspiring others to say, hey, yeah, look at me. I may have done a few things, but what do you want to do? And you can do those things too. So that purpose kind of stays with me the most. Um, and it fuels everything that I do, you know?
I love that. I love that aspect because even with those words alone, that alone would keep me going and
Mm.
continue to see like what's around the corner. Okay, I'm here. And what's around the next corner? I'm there. So it's just it's encouraging and inspiring, but again, it's I'm curious now. It is since I've been doing it for so long. We know you by your voice, and I love your voice. I'm like, Lord, if I get up there in the raptures like you can, I'm like, you would not, I will be singing this interview. You will not be able to shut me up. Oh my gosh. When did you find your voice?
Oh, I mean, that took a while. I mean, I've been singing since I was 6 years old. But I didn't love it. Didn't love to sing. I didn't love the intention. It wasn't like I was young going, "Ooh, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life." Not at all. But when I started to find a voice, it was through Luther Vandross. It was through Michael Jackson. It was through Tracy Chapman. It was through Fred Hammond. It was through the Winans. It was through Brian McKnight. You know, you find these people, James Taylor, and you kind of morph into what that is. It took a long time to answer your question to find my own voice and to love my voice, right? And I think finding my voice was also directly uh, tied to finding who I was as a person. So once I found who Terron is, the singing was secondary, but the singing became more life because I wasn't trying to find my voice. I was trying to find like who am I, and am I comfortable with that person? And then from that point, sing a song. And from that point, write a song. And from that perspective, find your voice. So I think there's two things I had to find. Yeah, the sound, the style, but also who was the conductor? Like who's the person what's the soul that's housing this sound? And I've never looked back. From that point on, I just sing and it comes from of a knowing of who I am. That's my voice. And I tell everybody, any singer who's trying to find that, you can sing like Mariah and sing like Ariana Grande, and you can pick up this person, but who are you? And if you're devoid of that, then you just sound like a clone of somebody else. Your voice is going to be touched or influenced mostly by you finding out who you are, then sing, then sing. And then that would be undeniable. I think I'm undeniable, not because I'm so talented, not because I'm so great or my voice is so great, because that's questionable. But I'm undeniable because the truth of who I am and who I'm becoming and whom I'm allowing to be, that's what I sing when I hold the microphone. That's what comes out.
Mm, I like that. I love that avenue because I definitely feel that life is a process. Anything that we do is a process. Each each season, each level in our life is a process, and we learn something new each and every time as well. So going back to something you said before, find out who you are as an individual. Who are you?
Oh, yikes. Yeah, who am I? I think I'm a child of God. That's one thing. If I said nothing else, ooh, that would be just that's the sermon,
And we're going
right?
on. Where we're going
That's
on.
done. I think everything flows from that because my identity tied to my faith and God empowers me, even in my weaknesses and my suffering and my insecurities and all of that. Reminding myself I'm a child of God, I'm like, yeah, yeah. It gives me that courage. It gives me that confidence to do everything else that I am. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a motivator and I'm a creator. Yes, I'm a singer and I'm an actor and all those other things that I could lead with. But I think for most thing, I just want to say I'm loved by the creator, you know, and that fuels everything else under that. But my jobs are being a father and a husband, and I take that very seriously. And then the loves of my life, of as far as music and acting and producing and creating, that's kind of secondary to me. But if you don't know who you are aside from what you do, it can be very problematic, I think. So, great question. My identity, I think I'm a child of God, and I am glad that I'm not on my own. and that my identity is not just birthed on what I do and what I create and my achievements, but it's actually tied into something bigger. That makes me feel good.
It's always bigger, right, than what we imagine, especially when we're going through and trying to figure it out on our own. At the end of the day, it's so much bigger than what we expect and what we see it as in that
Yeah.
moment. And the latter, as my grandmother used to say, you understand it by and by. As we get to that moment of light, it's like, oh, it was bigger. It was. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it
But
now.
but I also think that sometimes the bigness can also strangle us
Mm.
because it can be overwhelming when you take of the big, what is my purpose? What is my, these big concepts? And I've learned to kind of scale it down, and say, the greatest thing that God ever taught us, is to love.
Hmm.
So you can just break that down, all the other big stuff, and just be like, I just want to be a loving person in the world. That's so I used to be so weighed down by the bigness of purpose and what am I supposed to do and my legacy and all that. And then lately I've tried to kind of like bring it down to something simple and easy that I could do every single day. It that works for me. And I want to encourage anybody who's like maybe under the weight of a bigness of a dream that they have created or an image that they created themselves. Just start small. Do the best that you can for this 24 hours. Love yourself, forgive yourself, and then move on. And that will start a current of the bigness, as opposed to looking at it like I can never get there. I can never achieve that great thing. Well, what are you doing today? The small things,
They matter.
they matter.
They matter. They matter as I'm learning more about this whole industry aspect. What I do, even when turning on this computer or winding up the battery for whatever, it all matters because it all belongs to the bigger picture of it as be understanding later, or what it looks like and sounds like. And speaking of big, you have a big career starting off from where you are now, singing, acting, producing, all the good stuff. Your resume is so long. We'll be here all day talking about it, like literally. Like it is some good stuff that goes along with it. And I think that you're primarily known for that awesome portrayal of Eddie Kendricks in the series, the NBC series, The Temptations. How did that become about? And did that really catapult your stardom status?
I don't know. I think the story is that I had an agent. There was a call. Every black male who wanted a part was probably there, was there. I never thought it was a real possibility, so I never was nervous. I never thought I was going to get this job. I was like, oh, okay, well, just go and see because everyone else is going. And then after like the seventh or eighth callback, you start going, oh, this could be a possibility. Um, so it started out very simple. You know what I mean? Just like I auditioned for Paul before they changed. Suzanne DePass said, "No, you're Eddie Kendricks,"
Mhm.
and learned a song, did a couple steps. I was a natural performer, so the movie part of it, the acting part of it on TV, didn't dawn on me until the first day of filming.
Mhm.
Like in my mind, I don't really know what I'm doing in that aspect, but I knew how to perform, and I looked at Eddie Kendricks as I was going to do embody the character as opposed to an imitation. So I spent most time just embodying, getting information about who he was from people who know him, Smokey Robinson, Otis Williams himself, Suzanne DePass, just people who knew him. And then that's how I began my work. Did it catapult my career? No, I don't know if it did, but let me tell you what it did. This movie it probably is playing right now somewhere in the world. It's 26, 25 years old. I get recognized probably every day for something that's beloved to people, to culture. So catapulting my career, I don't know. If I were to be honest, I'd say no, because there were so many things that I did not receive that I thought I was going to receive, places that I thought it would take me or that would take me. But it took me into people's homes. It took me into people's lives. It took me into people's. I've been told by many people that we were the inspiration, and not slighting the Temptations, but people really didn't know. Young people who watch it today, they don't really know. They
No.
watch the movie and go, "Oh, this is a story about a group." we brought the inspiration to them in a certain kind of way. So in line with my purpose, it did catapult my purpose, but I don't know if it catapulted my career. And it took a long time to even embrace that. You know, when I'm eating with my family and somebody's saying, Eddie, it's the last thing I wanted to hear when I'm trying to make Terron a brand house name, you know? I had to understand the beauty of it all and what that gift was, and I'm able to embrace it more today. So yeah, I think it's a calling card to certain people. I was watching the Motown Christmas,
Mhm.
and I posted this on my Instagram. There was a Motown Christmas. Smokey Robinson was hosting it, and Machine Gun Kelly was on the show, and they were asking him his inspiration, and he said the miniseries was he quoted some lines from the miniseries. This Caucasian rocker was inspired by something that I did, so that's beautiful. I think that's more important. But I would be remiss to say there were disappointments in thinking, hey, I'm on the Emmy-winning miniseries. I'm on buses. I'm on magazines. What is this going to mean? You know, but right now, I think it's meant everything it's supposed to have meant. You know.
At any point, as time went on, after making it, again, we're over, it's 25 years later, and looking at this amazing project, did you get tired of being compared?
I don't know if I was ever compared. I think it was just like it seemed to be a period. Like it was so big. I was so young, and then I was like, I have so much more life to live. I have so much more things I want to do.
Yeah.
It seemed to kind of almost create a period with people like, well, that's who he is. That's First of all, I don't even sing like Eddie. I emulated that. I have a falsetto, but that's not my voice. So that took people a while when they listen to my music. There's some similarities, but not all the way where it's like he sounds like Eddie. Um, Eddie's not a horrible person to be compared to. He was a great man. He was a great leader. He was a great icon. So I don't know if that's a bad thing, but yeah, it took a while for me to just live with that, carve an identity aside from that, and be okay with people loving me, right? You know, sometimes it's uncomfortable. You're like, it's uncomfortable, but people are really, it's coming from a good place, and we can turn it to other things. But most people are kind, and it just really inspired them, and if that's what I'm meant to do on Earth, then that was a part of it.
And I tell you, like I said, that's just a small part of what you brought through this industry that we love so much. Again, you do so much. And even when I was reading, I'm like, wait, he was in Lion King too? Like, oh my gosh, like, oh, OMG, like that's always a classic for anybody, right? In that regard. So within the time frame that you've been singing, producing, acting, all the good stuff, right? All the great stuff. What did that process look like to get to where you are? Because so many people see the glitz and the glamour. Oh my gosh, this is where he is now. I want to be where he is. But be careful with your words because you don't know the story behind the struggle. As I always
Mm,
say, the process is for us, but the results are for everyone else to see. What was that
wow.
process like for you?
I think the process, even now, is continual breaking, continual breaking of kind of, I don't want to say my will, but the best advice I can give anybody is to hold things loosely in your hand, because there would be no temptations if I didn't open my hands, because I just wanted to win a Grammy and get a record deal. I have no Grammy, I have no record deal, but I have so many other things that by opening my hand just a little bit, or taking an opportunity that may seem out of my comfort zone, or like I wasn't even thinking about it, embracing the journey, like you said before, kind of what's in front of me, it took me a lot of different places, even to my path right now as a producer. So, to answer your question is like the behind process is kind of saying yes and stop putting boundaries upon yourself. And I want to do this. I'm not saying you can't have goals. I'm not saying don't have dreams, but be open to something unexpected, I think, or a detour because, people say, I'll never do this, I'll never do this, or I'm going to stop doing this forever. I don't do that anymore. I could wake up in 5 years and decide I want to do this. I could change my mind about something tomorrow and decide to do that. So having it flow, having your life flow and being collaborative, like with other people, is the key instead of just kind of trying to do your own thing. Open yourself up, share your dreams with others, collaborate, and don't be hemmed in on a time tame or a frame or an age or this. You just never know, where that journey is going to take you. So the behind the scenes was me against me. It wasn't people against me. It was me against, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I'm not sure. Is that Terron? Is that me? The identity crisis, I think, is what people didn't see. And I'm happy to be on the other side. Age is a great teacher. Age is a great friend. I don't consider myself old, but I'm more fortified right now in my thinking and who I am, and it's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ursula Robinson, Miss Linda from Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black, and you're watching the only show to watch, The Michael Finkley Show.
HBCU First. HBCU First Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. HBCU First is a student-led community advancing the well-being and economic participation of America's Black youth. As the leading HBCU internship and mentoring academy, we empower elite students from 70-plus historically Black colleges and universities with in-demand college-to-career skills. For more information, visit their website, www.hbcufirst.com. That's amazing. Wow. I must say, when you were speaking, I started relating things into my own life in this season that I'm in as well. And I definitely love this show that I do because I meet so many fantastic individuals. And to speak up and say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you never know where that could lead. Me saying, yeah, I sing a little, I can hold a note, I have a single out there, and to talk with someone that then said, I want you on my next album. And I'm like, okay, let's make it happen. Then to say that now the album is Grammy nominated. So now I'm like, whoa, right? Because I was not afraid to open my mouth and speak and say, hey, this is what I do, right?
Yeah,
so thank you for that. I need that reflective moment because sometimes we go on with life and we forget to reflect and we forget to ponder on those thoughts that, okay, wow, this is where I made it thus far. I made it thus far. Wow. As a father and as a husband, I see you on social media with your family. What have they taught you besides the big star that you are, that people see you as? What have they taught you as an individual being that you are today?
Oh, unconditional love. They've taught me to slow down. I'm a planner. I like things to be in order. Um, I like to see the big picture. And sometimes that's to my detriment. I think, especially when you're cohabitating with other people, if you're by yourself, do your own thing, right? If you're in a family, if you're married, you got kids, you can't really do your own thing. You know what I mean? It's a collaborative effort of life. And my family has taught me the beauty of messiness and the beauty of it's a mess. It's a mess. And so what? Are you going to fight? It's a mess. Are you going to miss out on the fun? Are you going to miss out on this day because you need to clean up? Because when you clean up, it's going to be a mess again. So embracing who they are, and I say that comically because it seems like, you're always asking other people to change for yourself, but you don't even realize the accommodations that they are having for you. Yeah, because you're too busy having your thing and this. And I think that's the biggest thing. I was like, they love me unconditional and I love them unconditional, but there are things about me that they have to deal with. and there's things about them that we just deal with it together. So to answer your question, there's just a beautiful thing about accepting who people are and growing together and trying to be in the now. And so I've put away some of those plans, and instead of being disappointed by what is not done or how it looks, just saying, okay, well, is everybody happy? Okay, then it looks like this. If that's what we really want, do I really want my way? You know, just so shedding all of that. So unconditional love from my family, which fuels what I do when I get to do what I do, my art. That love that I have, that acceptance of who I am when I'm on stage, it's just like I'm vulnerable. I'm like, this is me, and I'm okay, and I'm loved. I'm not trying to figure out who that is because I have that at home.
I love that. Oh, this is so amazing. Like your words are very much heartfelt. That is what I wanted to. Yeah, those are great words. D.A. Finkley. Your words are very much heartfelt because it comes from here. You talked about your spirituality and you're a man of faith. How are you going to continue to allow your spirituality to guide you into what you do every day?
Oh, I think the thing about the spirituality for me used to be so much for others, and now it's not selfish, but I just kind of, if I can take it in, I will radiate that, if that makes sense for others, as opposed to I'm trying to inspire, I'm trying to teach, or I'm trying to change the world, or I don't think about that anymore. I use my faith as almost of a mirror of like, how can I be better? And because I'm over being offended or ashamed, then I can have God nudge me and be like, yo, sir, might want to work on that with you without feeling the weight of I'm not perfect or I'm not this or that. And so it's a beautiful thing to have a loving nudge saying you're not in the center, you're a little bit left, Terron, come back, and then use that for my own reflection and then serve people. I think that that's the rhythm of my life right now. So that faith is just my own personal compass. It's my own personal heartbeat. It's my own personal where check in. So then when I need to radiate or teach or inspire, whatever, it comes from that place. And that's the most purest place that it can come from, I think. Because everybody's dealing with their own suffering and their own pain, and they're trying to change and grow at their own pace. It's the kindness that I could be for myself. In turn, I can find that empathy and kindness for other people. And so that's what faith does for me lately. It's a good engine check.
I'm Francis Chule. I play Pierce in Invasion on Tubi, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show.
Hello, everybody. It's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first-generation students. And also, we partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first-generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or a speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you. Looking for some of the best soul food right here in Mullen, South Carolina? I promise you, come on down to Garden Alley.
Our grape salad's fabulous, our water gate, our potato salad, our chicken is fresh, macaroni and cheese is salted to perfection. I haven't found anything that's not great. Best ever.
Banana pudding, cakes, pies. Yeah. Selection is huge. Garden Alley is an awesome place to eat. I really love it.
Come by and see the amazing staff at Garden Alley, downtown Mullins. Isn't it? Isn't it? I love the way you mentioned the little nudge, because again, I feel that's the word tells us he chastises those he loves. So he's gonna get us right no matter what. We may not like it, but we know that it's right. We know that it's right.
Yeah.
We gotta get back on path. We gotta get back on that path that he calls us to do. I must ask, if you were not this big star that we see today, what would you be doing?
You're funny. I think I would be doing the same thing. I don't think, see, like the thing that you're qualifying as a star, and I appreciate it. I'm very humbled by that. I don't know if I would be doing something different. I could be less known. I don't even think I'm known, but I think the heartbeat of who I am would still be the same. Maybe I would be a psychologist. Maybe I'd be a therapist. I'm already a teacher. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like no matter what the shine may or may not be, I would still try to find the avenue to do what I love to do, regardless of how it's received, I think. So I don't know if I'm answering the question, but and that's just what I perceive in my mind, because even right now, I'm not chasing anything, any elevation, any more celebrity, any more shine, so I'm going to continue to do what my heart wants to do. And I would hope that if the spotlight wasn't on me, or if there was no temptations or no, Broadway or no accolades in that way, I would hope that I would still find avenue to do the same work,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because the truth is, it's like, you look on Facebook or you look on Instagram and you see 2 million followers. Okay. They have 2 million followers. That doesn't mean that they're influencing 2 million people. That just means people are following them. So I tell everybody, who are you influencing? Who have you changed? If you change 5 people's life, you think that's insignificant? That's not true. You could be on the path of those 5 people, and we know those people. We know the Oprahs, the Denzels, the whoever was inspiring them that you don't know their name. That was their great purpose, to get the 5 people that to do what they're supposed to do. So we can't be hemmed in on the title and all of that stuff. I just want to influence people that are around, that are listening, and hopefully make a difference in their lives, because I know that number is, I don't know. It's subjective.
They are. Oh my gosh. I had to realize that when I first started this, and something really clicked. And as you were talking about before, people coming up to you and they're like, I really love the way you said this, or the person that was on your show that said that. I'm like, wow. First of all, thank you for watching. And then I'm so glad you got something from it, because that's what it's all about, right? For you to do better. And in the process, I want to do better as well. So as I'm talking, I want to learn something for myself in the process, because I need to learn and grow as well. So again, that's what it's all about in that sense. Season 8 for us here at the Michael Finkley Show, we're talking about the season of dreams. And I feel that everyone has them, because I feel that it goes along with our purpose in life. So, my good friend, what is your next biggest dream?
Oh, practically, I'm gonna be practical for you. I have a show called The Soul of Broadway. I do at performing arts centers. I do on cruise ships. I have a record called The Soul of Broadway that's reimagining Broadway classics in a soulful, new, fresh way. My goal for that show would be for it to be a symphony show, for it to be orchestrated. That's my next goal for that show, for that creation. My record is coming out in 2025. I'm breaking it here. The singles should be out in February. It's called Honest. I have 3 books that I have written, and I'm tooling with them. I want them to be published. I self-published my first book, Something Good on the Table, that's on Amazon right now, but I would love to get a great publisher for these other projects. So that's kind of the tangible things that I want to say. Those are dreams. But I think my biggest dream is to be in position, a greater position, to help others achieve their goals financially. I love being a producer. I love creating. And so as much as I want to create opportunities for myself, would I love to write you a check right now, or write people, or just say, or produce someone else, or fund somebody else's dream. That's the biggest dream for me. And I realize that I can do that in small ways, because I want to say that to anybody who's watching. you know, if your dream is going to happen, you're dreaming it now. So you can't wait until the big thing happens. What small things are you doing now to make that engine go? So, but to answer your question, yeah, I mean, I would love to have a small enterprise where I was leading other people to do their dreams, and I had books and film projects or whatever music projects that were inspiring others, not just to buy what I have, but to make what they want to make.
Yeah. And I love the way you say that too, because my best friend always says that our words are listening. So that means that it has to come to pass. And in the word, it also tells us that he gives us the desires of our hearts as well. So it has to come to pass. So when it happens, I'm going to be looking in the background like, yay, yay.
You said it. Yeah.
Oh, yay. Are you proud of yourself in this season in your life?
Dude, that's a great question. Yeah. I've overcome so much that we didn't even get into, but I'm proud of myself. You know why? Because I'm trying. So the pride doesn't have to be attached to a certain accomplishment, but I'm most proud of getting out of bed today and be like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna, we're gonna face it again. We're gonna try it again. I think we really deduce that prize of the day for a lot of us trying to do big things. You got up, you tried, you got knocked down and you got back up again. I think everybody should be proud of that momentum, and that availability. Basically, I just want to tell God, I'm available. I'm available. And I think the forces that are trying to knock us down do not want us to say that. They want us to give up. So Michael, yeah, I am proud. I'm proud of how it is right now, whatever it is right now. Yeah.
I love it. You mentioned a few things in 2025. For 2025, it's practically here. We're in it. We're living through it. We mentioned some major projects that were going to happen as well. So how can the Fink fam keep in contact with you by way of your social media and seeing these things come into fruition?
Well, we have social media, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. I am on it and I respond. So I think if you go to the Instagram, you follow me, you'll be able to follow what I'm doing. There'll be alerts. There'll be, telling everybody when the projects will come out. And then if you want to comment or write or be a part of that, we call it following each other. But like I really respond to people who follow me. So yeah, Facebook and Instagram, and the soulofbroadway.com is exclusively for the Soul of Broadway project. And yeah, just see what's going on, what's happening, and I definitely talk about it, on those platforms.
I'm telling you, Fink fam, he does. So if you definitely want to see what's going on with him, definitely
watch me eat food,
everything.
Everything. It's just, I'm letting you in on everything.
I'm telling you everything. You know what's going on. So if you see him on the street, he's like, yeah, I saw you. Yeah, we got to have a whole conversation about it. But I want to say thank you so much for being with us. I need you to come back because there's some more things we want to talk about as well. But
yeah.
I want you to come back. And
let me come back when the album comes out too, so they can hear some music.
Let's go. Let's make it happen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Fink fam, thank you so much for watching. And always remember to pursue your dreams. Have a good one.